Hello students and families, my name is Jen and I'm a registered Dietitian Nutritionist at Tri-State Memorial Hospital. We are pleased to present to you health and nutrition tips for you to use at school and at home with your families. Today's topic is adding flavors the healthy way. Sometimes when we eat what we think of as flavorful foods, they really might be full of sugar, fat, and sodium. So let's talk about a few different ways you can add flavor without adding the extra ingredients that can be a bit unhealthy. So my favorite food that comes to mind is popcorn. Now popcorn itself is a whole grain and is low in calories. But when you add a lot of salt and butter, you add calories and sodium. And so one way to make popcorn a little bit healthier is by using an air popper if you have one. This way you can control the amount of additives to your popcorn. So in my house, we air pop popcorn and then we melt a couple teaspoons of soft tub margarine. And that way we can replace butter with a healthier fat. Our favorite flavoring is usually a little bit of Parmesan cheese or some taco seasoning. And in a recent video, we talked about how you can make your own taco seasoning that's even healthier. I bet you haven't tried a product called nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a bunch of little flakes that taste cheesy. It's really good, might be worth a try. So another thing you can do is to pop your popcorn, plain popcorn, and then spray it with an oil, sprayable oil like Pam, and then put your seasoning on top, like if you were to use the taco seasoning, and roast it in the oven for a few minutes. This is what adds the flavor that we talked about recently. When you add that smell, the aroma, it betters the flavor even more. What about things like eggs and meat? Well, you may be used to having salt and pepper on these foods, but there are lots of other seasonings that you can find even at the grocery store, like Mrs. Dash variations, that uses dried vegetables, herbs, and spices. So this goes well with many different dishes, and you could keep it at the table instead of salt. When you're cooking meat or certain hot dishes, instead of using salt, there's some dishes that actually would go well with a little bit of vinegar. This way you can also tenderize your meats, which means it's not as rough to eat. Don't forget that there are many recipes that we've already made in these lessons that use applesauce instead of butter. Another way to add flavor, moisture, and not so much fat. So these are a couple great tips that you could use to save yourself some extra calories and unnecessary non-nutritious foods. Give it a try and keep on trying foods. You never know what you might like. All right, talk to you next time.